Uh, my name is Robert Gabriel. I'm President and CEO of MicroWise Technology. I'll be your host today, and thank you so much for joining. This is my contact information. Disclaimer, anything you learn during this seminar, MicroWise cannot be held responsible for any financial data damage. You need to verify all the information yourself. The agenda today is global coverage, working with fee schedule, how to handle copay and missed copayment, and automated patient reminder. Then we're going to be opening for Q&A. So global coverage, this is the overview of global coverage. It lets you enter multiple charges for follow-up visits after a surgery. So this is mostly for surgeons. When you enter global coverage for surgical procedure for a patient in transaction entry, all the transaction entered during the global coverage period will be defaulted to $0 amount. So let me show you. So just the global coverage here is for surgeon. So the patient keeps coming for post-op, and you want to enter, you want to log it that you came in, but you don't want to bill for it. You don't want to inflate your account receivable. This is the global coverage setup. I'm going to go over that setup here. So you will first need to set up the global coverage procedure. So you need to find the CPT code for the global coverage. Then you're going to do the adjustment from the procedure adjustment list. We're going to select the procedure coverage, and we're going to mark it that this is falling under the global coverage. Then there's other setup that need to be done inside the case. Then we're going to implement the global coverage. So let's go here. So let me go to, this is my procedure and adjustment code list. So let me do it to 17110. Let's see, that is done as a global coverage procedure. So this CPT code need to be used as a global coverage. So when it had the code here is global coverage, when you setting up your cases, so let's say inside my case here, let me take Dwight. So the global coverage here, so let's say I have a global coverage for 90 days, and I'm going to cover it until May 17. That gives me 90 days. And I'm going to hit save. Anything that any CPT code that linked as a global coverage, it will be done from today on as a $0 amount. So the first one is going to have anything you're going to do for the period of 90 days is going to have a $0 amount. Okay, so this here is the first one for $5,000. Then from now on, anything that linked to the global coverage will be at a dollar amount. So this here need to be, and any CPT code from now on under this case that it's marked with a category of global coverage, it will ignore it from today on for 90 days. So this will allow you to enter CPT code, and during those CPT code 90 days, it will do it at a $0 in the future from today on. So it will allow you to enter transaction, but it will not let you charge for it. If you're not a surgeon, you work for a surgery office, you're not going to be using this, so you can ignore that. So just to summarize, is number one is the CPT code. All the CPT code that covered under the global coverage, they need to be marked as global surgical procedure. Then in the case for whatever you're doing for this patient, it needs to be marked under personal. Here it needs to have a global coverage period. When you do that, any CPT code is after the first one, the first one will be marked as the dollar, the full dollar amount. Then from now on, for 90 days, it will be a $0 amount. Working with fee schedule. So with working with fee schedule is Medisoft has a basic, simple, elementary fee schedule. And that fee schedule is controlled by the procedure. So over here is on on each CPT code, I have from A to Z prices. So you can have a price for, um, standard price, usually A, and let's say my C price is $400, and my M price, maybe I want to charge Medicare only $300. Okay, so be careful with that because it can get you into some legal uh, conflict, because according to the laws of insurance company, if you are a network provider, you cannot discriminate against patients that don't have insurance, or you cannot discriminate against patients that have insurance. So you should never charge um, less dollar amount than what you charge for your insurance company, especially if it's Medicare insurance. So if Medicare is $300 and your standard price is $500, make sure that if you want to charge a cash price, make sure it's not less than all your insurance company that uh, you are contracted with. If you are the network, you can do whatever you want. But if you are participating with Medicare or uh, in network provider, there's some obligation you have to follow, because insurance company can consider that insurance fraud if you're charging your cash patient less money than charging your insurance patient. Many people overlook that. They think it's just a noble thing to do, because I see a patient that don't have insurance, so let me charge them a lower price. To the insurance company, it's considered insurance fraud. So be careful of that. Uh, so this is, I just set up price A, price C, price M. Okay. And the next thing is uh, I'm going to utilize this here. So let's save this. What controls the price is really inside the case. So if depending on what the case is for under account, so this is the price code. So if the price code is C, when I enter the same procedure, it will be entered with the price code C. So let me try it here. Okay, so that's my price C. And you can also override your price. Let's say if I want to see my price M, you don't have to go to the case and do it. If you type the M letter where the number is, so watch here, I'm just typing it where the number is. This is my A, this is my C, this is my M. So I'm just typing the letter and it brings the price. So this is how you can toggle between the prices if you did not set it up inside the case. But really, when you set it up inside the case, that's where it's going to come up as your price. So over here, this is your price code. And don't confuse the difference between your billing code and your price code. Billing code is just for reporting purpose. The price code is what brings that um, that different code prices inside Medisoft. Any question on that? Okay, missed copayment, how to work with missed copayment and how to work with um, copayment in general, and the how to do a statement. So the first, there's some setup that need to be done. One of the setup is, let me get out of here. One of the setup is, if you are collecting copayment, you need to go to each procedure code that you normally collect copayment on. I know this is difficult for physical therapy. If any of you are a physical therapy practice, that might not work exactly the way you do it. So let me I'm talking about in general, physicians, if you are a network, you have a copayment for the office visit. So let me go to 99212, and I will go here and mark it. Each one that you require copay, you need to mark this box here, require copay. So this one is already set up. Let me go to 99213, and this office visit is require copay, and let me go to 99214. I don't know if I have 214. I think I do. Yes, I do. And that will be require copay. So this box on every office visit, usually where most people collect the copayment, and we'll say required copay here. Uh, for physical therapy, I see they work around it by creating a fixed CPT code that just say copay, and they can get around it like that. Um, so after doing that is the next part is the patient itself has to be marked. So let me go to Andrew here. Andrew has Aetna. In the case for that patient, you need to say there need to be a copay. Uh, so over here under the policy, the copay here, let's say it's a $50 copay. So those two parts, when they set up, they will work together. So if I type here a 99213, it's supposed to come up and tell you this patient has a copay as soon as I save it. And watch what happened here. See this red? It was 0 a second ago, and now it's saying that this patient has a $50 copay because I did not receive the copayment yet. It alerts me here that this patient has a $50 copay. And once I receive that copay, so let's say the patient paid copay, and let's say they paid a copay cash, and I type in $50 here. When I apply this, you will see a button here that when you set up everything the way I showed you, I will be able to use this. So if I say apply to copay, it will go here. I can just go here and type $50, but I like to be lazy and not do it, type it again because I done everything right. So that $50 will just go here. And now when I hit close, so when I save, watch this here, it says $50 missed copay. When I save this here, it shows me that it's 0. So if the patient has a $50 copay and you see here $150, guess what? You missed 3 copayment. So this is watch out for this. And when you do everything correctly, at the end of the day, is you can, or the end of the month, you can run a report for all the missed copayment. I believe it's under analysis here, report, copayment report, and outstanding copayment. So copayment report, it will just show me all the people that paid the copayment. I don't have a big database here, so I'm going to leave everything blank. In your situation, you will be filtering for date here. So if I do this, this is all the copayment I collected. So here's my $50 that I received from Austin. Okay, and it shows here that how much copayment I received. Then under analysis again, you have your outstanding copayment. So if you want to find out all the patients that missed copayment, so you can run this report here. Again, you can filter for dates, but because this is not a real data, I don't have much data here. So those are the 2 patients that missed their copayment. And also, when you can enable an option inside program option that lets you print a missed copayment um, statement. So that by default, this is not turned on. So if you go to program options, let me see if I remember where it is. I believe it should be under billing. And see right here, add a copay remainder statement. By default, this is not turned on. So if you turn this on, uh, in statement management, when you create your copayment, so if I come here to statement management, and I create my statements. So if I say create me statements, let me make this $2. So this way, if a copayment was $10, it will show up. So if I hit say create, so the 2 remainder statements are being created. And if I find which ones are missed copayment, so when I print my statement, I can choose my paper, and one of the uh, statement is copay remainder here. So if I take this one and run it, it should give me the patients that missed their copayments. So here is a missed copayment one here, and here's another missed copayment. This one is not a missed copayment. This is just a regular statement. So it matches the same report I was doing before. Okay, so after analysis here, if I do outstanding copayment, it should matches the two statement I just got. We're going to talk about automated patient reminder. So automated patient reminder is a service. It's a two-way service that you are able to call patient or text patient about their appointment or both. Uh, I hate getting phone calls regarding my doctor's appointment. I like to get a text message. So this system, it should handles that transparent to what you do. So patients will opt in for the text messages to be able to tell the automated system, I want to be reminded with text message, but you have the choice to do it by text, by voicemail, or both. Okay, so to do that is I'm going to show you a quick demo. I actually happen to have it here as auto reminders here. So if I do the auto reminder, so again, I'm going to maximize this here and I'm going to do it high definition. So let me do 720 and let me play this auto reminder.
Welcome to AutoRemind. This video will show you AutoRemind's features and functions with McKesson's Medisoft product. AutoRemind is an automated reminder system that will execute for you all the hard work that goes into reminding patients of their appointments. It will call, text, and email your patients to remind them of their appointments, and has the ability to send out multiple reminders per appointment. You can send a straightforward reminder or ask them to actively confirm their appointment. But before you can do that, there are a few important points to understand. Once installed, you'll be able to call up AutoRemind while still working with your Medisoft software, just like this. AutoRemind scans your calendar and patient data in real time in order to do that. Here you see a list of all your patients. As an example, take a look at John Doe here. Let me open up that patient file in your Medisoft software. Here you see me change the last two digits in the phone number. Soon after I press Save in Medisoft, you can see that AutoRemind knows about it. Same applies to any calendar data. In AutoRemind, you can choose a reminder strategy for each patient. In a minute, we'll look at how to design these strategies, but for demonstration purposes, here's a short list for you to see. Click the Strategy tab to design and edit the reminder strategies. Here at the top is the same list you just saw before, and I'll select this Mail strategy, and now you see it contains 3 messages to be sent before the appointment. However, let's look at designing reminder strategies first. Here's an example of what you can do with AutoRemind. You may want an email reminder to go out to your patients 7 days before their appointment, so as to give them a chance to reschedule. Then, 4 days prior to the appointment, another email will go out asking them to confirm their appointment. If they do not confirm before 5 p.m. the next day, AutoRemind will call the patient and request another confirmation, but only if they didn't confirm via the first email. Believe it or not, confirming 3 to 4 days ahead is still plenty of time to forget the appointment, so AutoRemind can easily send another simple reminder the evening before the appointment. If your patient wants a different type of reminder, don't worry, that's possible too. Here we are back in the software. You can design any reminder strategy you want. It's important to first consider the type of contact data you have for your patients. Do you have more emails than phone numbers? Do you want to send text messages? Do you want your patients to confirm or just receive a simple reminder for their appointments? Once you're ready, you select a new strategy and give it a name like this: My First Strategy. Let's say I want to make a phone call a few days before the appointment and email again closer to the appointment. First, I click the phone icon and I can place it on the line here, which demonstrates the time up to the appointment. I then select a confirm template in English rather than a reminder message. I want it to go out a few days before, so I'll select 3 days before the appointment. Finally, I prioritize the telephone contact data I have. I want it to use the home phone first, and if that does not contain a number, it should use a second priority, the person's cell phone. Finally, I add the email. I'll move it out here to the right. I'll select a personal reminder in US English and send that out 1 day before the appointment, like this. That's pretty much it. Very easy. Now I click to save and store it. Going back to my John Doe patient, All I need to do is select that patient's reminder strategy as my first strategy, and AutoRemind will make sure the patient always receives that set of reminders every time he has an appointment. There can also be a clinic standard reminder strategy for the entire clinic, if that's something you'd prefer. Now the only thing you need to do is schedule appointments as you always do. Just create your appointments like I do here for John Doe. AutoRemind will automatically receive the appointment details and ensure that the patients are reminded or asked to confirm their appointments. Here's an example of a text and email confirmation message, or template if you will. You confirm text messages by sending a reply with the word confirm or letter C, while a click on the confirm button in the mails is sufficient. Voice calls would require you to press the 5 button to confirm. All these message templates come as a standard design, or we can even customize them to your design needs, even in other languages. As an option, you can ask AutoRemind to set any confirmed messages to be confirmed inside your software. If an appointment is unconfirmed in Medisoft, but now confirmed by a patient using text, voice, or email, then its status will change the status inside your software as well. This is not a requirement, but just an option. You can also pull a report regarding the AutoRemind appointments on a daily basis. Just select a day and create a status report for printing, if that will work better for your office. Thank you for watching how AutoRemind works with Medisoft from McKesson. Using AutoRemind is really as easy as we hope you have seen in this video. Visit our website to learn more and sign up for your free AutoRemind trial.
Just to summarize, the auto reminder is able to have one routine for the whole practice, or a certain patient can have a different routine. It can be in different languages, and the message could be different based on the reason the patient is coming. So if the patient is coming for maybe an annual physical, then you need to tell them you need to be fasting, or if they're coming for a stress test, maybe you need to tell them that they need to wear a sneaker. So based on the reason of the appointment, you have multiple type of reminder that can give the patient different script. And of course, it could be different language as well. Or this type of auto reminder is a two-way communication. And the most common question I get is how much. So depending on how complex the messages you want it to be, and it's by the minute, and a normal package is somewhere around $120 per month. Think about this: one missed appointment can pay for that whole system alone, and it's going to free up your staff from calling patient and trying to get them on the phone and playing the phone tag game with them. So for as little as $120 per month, this can generate you um, revenue, because it's not going to avoid it 100%, but if I'm able to reduce the no-show by 80% or 75%, that's a huge accomplishment. Also gives you better image with your patient, because now there is an obligation for you as a practice when patient miss their appointment, and by avoiding the missed appointment by patient, that's puts you in a better position, and it makes your patient healthier. Okay, this is my contact information. Yeah, you're welcome to reach out to me. And as I showed you, I'm going to be posting the recording. So if you go to let me get out of here. So if you go to microwise.com, when you click on events, most of you probably did that already by registering for this seminar. When you click on event, this is all the upcoming events. I already have the agenda for the next 4 months. If you want to recommend an agenda, please let me know, contact me. And at the bottom of each one, you're going to see all, the recording that I did, so you can go back and watch. So your recording today is going to be placed in the first spot here on the left top corner. Always pay attention to the bottom here. There are multiple pages of recording. Um, so unless you have more questions for me, please let me know. Uh, now. Otherwise, we will conclude the meeting today. One of the, if you have an EMR in your practice, you should attend this meeting here that's coming up. Let me go back to events. There's a meeting here for Monday. I don't see it anymore. Okay. There's a meeting for Monday. Let me switch this here. Meaningful use meeting. So that meeting, I don't know why I couldn't see it there. So this meeting is February 22nd. It's about meaningful use, and it's for all the meetings are Eastern time. I get some complaints that it doesn't say what time zone, so I'm gonna work to find something to fix this. But this meeting is important because there are some regulations deadline by the end of this month. You need to comply to achieve meaningful use. Doesn't matter what product you have. Unless you have questions for me, I want to thank you so much for your business. I want to thank you for attending and taking the valuable time out of your working time. Uh, and I'm here for you guys. If you have any questions, send me a message. I'll be glad to answer it for you.